Okay, so I have made the John Cannell Preppy Kitchen. I'll do a mention to the channel. It's a YouTube channel here on YouTube. And John Cannell, authored a recipe for an olive oil cake, which I printed out and tried today in celebration of me being 30 years old. So this is my birthday cake, so to speak, or acceptance of being 30 years old today cake. And so the full thing, interesting on calories, is a little over 4,000 calories. So if we did like 2 of these, stacked them, and frosted it, the cake would be about 12,000 to 14,000 calories. But here's I've already made it and had some of it with my parents. So here's the cake. And the full thing is like approximately 4,400 calories or something like that. So it's a calorie dense cake. It uses olive oil instead of butter. And so let's get going. So I'm going to do 1 serving size, which 1 serving size is 548 calories. It's per the recipe. What ended up happening is I put it in the 9-inch pan. So it's a 9-inch pan, and I put it in, and it's a pretty thick cake. And there was batter left over, so I just ate the leftover batter raw. I love cake batter and have not lost my taste for cake batter. I did cook it, and what happened is I put a toothpick in. I did a couple of toothpicks, and it came out clean, but then when I pulled it out, it's not quite done all the way. I don't mind, I like cake batter. But it does mean the cake won't last as long. So like if a cake normally lasts a couple of days, this is more like if we haven't eaten it by tomorrow night. Give it to the birds or something. All right, don't want to get sick from it. So here we go. A serving size is 1/8 of the cake. I got a Kona here. Take this. And here is the cake. And we'll take, and Kona is like, what about me? And here it is. And here's the piece, the 1/8 of the cake. All right, and now we're gonna go and face this way. You can see me do my oh so fancy camera setup. I use it by coil height so that it's pointing forward. Then it's missing one. There we go. So here's the cake. Here we go. So here's some of the lesser cooked or undercooked. It called for lemon and lemon zest, and that's very much comes through, but it's not overpowering, but it is a really good lemon flavor. It complements the olive oil really well. Here's what it looks like. So it's fun. The author of the recipe is John Cannell, Preppy Kitchen, and the executioner is me. I did it entirely myself, including doing the dishes and drying the dishes and putting the dishes away. Let's do and the recipe called for, it's just so smooth, it's incredible. Called for sugar on top. And so that is what, as it cooked, that white stuff is just plain sugar. And my best guess is it helped weight the top down and kind of make sure it rose evenly on top as it cooked. This is, in terms of like no frosting, no sprinkles, nothing like that. This is one of the best cakes I've had in my life. I did not check if there was a vegan version, but I'm gonna guess it's because there's no butter, it uses olive oil instead. I'm gonna guess it's one of those kind of recipes that would be easy to convert into a vegan recipe, though I'm not certain. I don't do vegan cooking, really. At least not vegan baking. So I might have gotten that entirely wrong. He's putting his paw on my ribs, going, I want some. As of now, I'd give it a 14 out of 10. I would say I'm 110% happy with this as my selection, as my accepting I'm 30 years old cake. I'm like, look at that. Whoa. If it's in focus. It was kind of funny, I was, kept getting these YouTube recommendations, so I found this recipe, but by YouTube recommendations, I was like, why do they keep recommending a channel named Preppy Kitchen? And I eventually saw the olive oil one, and I was like, this recipe, the olive oil cake, and I was like, how does that even work? And now I subscribe and watch the videos. And it's a featured channel on my channel. I'll keep it a 14 out of 10. I could eat the whole thing. And it's really an interesting one because I could eat the whole thing and I don't think my stomach would be that upset. It's at least not at the time of eating it. Like, there's 4,000 calories that are edible, or 4,400 calories that like one could eat in one go. And I wouldn't, or like I could try to eat, but I wouldn't make it through because it just hits me so fast. This is like a smooth on the belly, my belly, so to speak, where I'm gonna guess I could eat the whole thing. I'm not gonna eat the whole thing, but dang, that is so good. Delicious. 14 out of 10. And again, 110% happy with this is my I am 30 years old birthday cake. Or I'll call it an acceptance cake. And I gotta make it myself, 100%. Even people asked if they could help, and I was like, no, I got it. And so, on the recipe I am writing, verdict is 14 out of 10, today's date, 26 February 2023. Happy 3-0 to me, and happy sweet eats for those watching. And if you want the recipe or the video or anything like that, it's on the Preppy Kitchen YouTube channel and the corresponding website. And I will put a mention to that channel in the video description. Happy evening, or whatever time of day it is when you're viewing this.